The famous Von Erich family is the center of an all-new A24 film, The Iron Claw. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name is Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. The inseparable Von Erich families who make history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. I don't really know much about the Von Erich family, but I do like wrestling and boxing movies, so I was really curious about this movie, and it being an A24 film with Zac Efron, I was very curious about that. This is a really good film. They cover so much that happens to this family within this runtime. There's this supposed curse that is within this family that causes a lot of the family members to die or kill themselves, and there's a very strong emotional connection to this movie. There are many siblings in this family, and there's so many siblings that have tragic moments that they even left a sibling out of the movie, Chris, the youngest of the Von Erich family kids. But I've read interviews and it just say that with the runtime and everything that happened, they decided to cut him out of the movie, which was a bit weird to me. But the focus on this family, you do see these brothers. You have Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson and Stanley Simmons. They round out the brothers within this movie, and you do feel a very strong bond within this group. You have their father, who believes that they should be part of wrestling. He really pushes them to their limits, believes that they will be the most popular and successful wrestlers in history. And sometimes it's a bit questionable how far he pushes them, but also you see that family dynamic that's very strong within this movie. Since they do cover a lot of years and you have a lot of siblings within this movie, there are certain moments that I feel like they are a little bit rushed. But overall, what happens to this family? It starts off as something inspiring and heartwarming. You see the family all together. They're pushing each other to their limits. They all believe in themselves. And then you start to peel back who these characters are and what they are dealing with and what they did to themselves and how tragic and all the tragic moments that happened to this family. It's very emotional, and I ended up crying multiple times within this movie. You see their reaction, you see how they overcome things and have to deal with what happened to their family. It's really gut-wrenching at times, and the way that they kind of wrap up this film, you feel all those emotions just kind of pouring all over you. And I wasn't expecting that within this movie. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the Von Erich family, so going into it, I didn't know all the brothers that have died and how Zac Efron's character was the last one. And so it's just, that journey of the characters starting off very strong, their bond, and then slowly peeling away what had happened to them and how they were dealing with their own demons. And it just provided all of that emotional weight to this film. And the performances are really good. Zac Efron, probably one of his best performances, as he has to take on the role of being the older brother. There's so much that's weighing on his shoulder, and we see Zac Efron's best performance. It's emotional but inspiring, as well as he's pushing himself and believing in achieving his goals. Jeremy Allen White, I have not seen The Bear, but I've heard he's really good in that show. He's really soft-spoken in the beginning, and then we kind of progress in this movie, and then we see what he's dealing with, the battles that he has to go through, and that's emotional performance right there. That's very strong. Honestly, all the performances are really good. Father and the mother who have to watch their children die, it's heartbreaking stuff. And the younger siblings and how they have to live up to their father's expectations, and just watching it all just weigh them down. I mean, it's emotional stuff that makes it one of the best films of this year. But you have a lot of great wrestling moments as well when they are all when they're all in their prime and they're all working together. You have some beautiful wrestling moments, the direction of just kind of like an overview of the ring and seeing the siblings, what they do best. Those are very strong moments. Then you have a good soundtrack too to kind of hype up these scenes. And it feels very exciting watching this family all connect over wrestling and then them challenging themselves. The different wrestlers that they come across, you have Ric Flair in here, which was pretty fun to see in this movie. But all of your exciting moments really happen in like the first half of the movie as they're all understanding their roles in their family, their techniques, their responsibility within this family. It's all fun to watch, but then it just gets to a point where it becomes really depressing and emotional to watch, and the tone fully shifts and it works, wrapping up the story of the Von Erich family and how Zac Efron's character is worried about this curse and having his own children and the curse going on with them. So there's a lot that you have to look at for this family. And the film does a great job of understanding your family's legacy, carrying on your family name, but also building bonds. And it's emotional stuff, but also I loved how close this group felt. You feel like that's how these brothers were in real life. They loved being around each other. They were always there for each other. It became very emotional. I cried a couple times. I wasn't expecting that. It ended up being one of my favorite films of this year. Performances are some of the best of this year. Emotional stuff, exciting things as well when it comes to the wrestling. Just an overall really impressive film with great direction, but a lot of it is pretty heavy. So before I give you my score for the Iron Claw, the new A24 film, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. If you'd like to see where the Iron Claw ranks amongst all the other 2023 releases I've seen this year, follow me on Letterboxd and there you can find my ranking. I'm going to go ahead and give the Iron Claw an A-. Thank you guys for checking out my review for the Iron Claw, the new A24 film starring Zac Efron. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.